Most people never face their past, but one Connecticut man decided to not only look into it, but to chronicle the journey in a new autobiography titled Morning Sun. Author Merrick Alpert's story of hope, optimism, and family is truly an inspiration, and he's here now to share his story. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, the main real theme of this book is growing up without a father.
That's right.
And it seems to really have shaped you into who you are today. Do you ever think that maybe if it had been different in your childhood, things would have worked out differently now?
Yeah, I think everybody probably thinks that, but I was fortunate to have a really strong single mom who worked enormously hard to provide for me and my brother and sister, so I don't think I'd be the man that I am if I had a softer life.
Now, you definitely credit your single mother with raising you, but you also give a lot of credit to UConn.
Yeah.
Explain that a bit.
Well, you know, the only school that I was able to get into after high school was the University of Connecticut, and I went there and just came alive. UConn, everybody was like me. It was great. I just, a lot of these folks came from single-parent homes. They came from working-class homes. It was the essence of Connecticut, and I loved it. I think the world of UConn, and that really was a place that put me on the right life path.
Now, your life has taken you to some pretty amazing places, obviously with work through Bosnia and also with your former employer, Al Gore. Talk about those different experiences.
Well, I've been a U.S. peacekeeper in Bosnia on the ground for 6 months in a Muslim nation, and obviously that's an enormously powerful experience. I've had the good fortune of working for folks like Al Gore. Started working for Al Gore long before he was a Nobel Prize-winning rock star. It's when he wasn't quite the popular man he is today. So it's been a good journey, a very good journey.
And now, being in these amazing places, having children of your own now, what do you hope that they can learn from these experiences that you've had and your childhood?
Yeah, you know, in Morning Sun, I write about it. I finished the book with a little poem that I wrote on the journey for my son Jackson, and I just said, above all, make sure you love your son. Be a great father. I think the single most important thing that my wife Alex and I convey to our kids is just to take care of one another, love one another, and the fact that our kids see a really strong, healthy marriage in the household where they grow up, it's probably the single most important thing I could do for my children.
What are you hoping that people will take away from your book?
Well, the hope is that folks who've grown up in a single-parent family or wonder about someone who's left them in their life, I hope they realize that, in my case, after 35 years, I went and found the person who had abandoned our family. And my hope is that people draw strength from that. Based on the feedback at the book events and the emails that I get in the office, it seems that it's really struck a responsive chord, that people say, hey, you know what, this is my story too. I can relate to this.
Now, taking that initiative, going back, looking through your past, digging up, I mean, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to do that, but did you find moments of weakness in that as well?
Well, I think, look, you know, someone once told me when I was in the military, there's no difference between courage and the appearance of courage. You just have to act brave. There can be moments of doubt, but if you go out and do the right thing, that's what's important, and that's what I teach our kids.
Wonderful. So what are you doing now?
Well, I'm running for the U.S. Senate against Christopher Dodd. I'm the one Democrat, so speaking of courage of your convictions and standing up for what's right, that's my theme, obviously.
Wonderful. Where can people pick up your book?
They can pick it up at any Barnes & Noble, and they can get it on Amazon, and I'll be out there. I'm actually doing an event in West Hartford at the Barnes & Noble on Friday evening at 7 p.m., so certainly they can see me on the book tour as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us as well.